We got a banger today. We're going to be talking about how to start investing in the stock market today in 2020 and the steps you need to take to start investing. If you have nothing, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to do it, you don't even know how to sign up, where to go, I'm here to answer all those questions that you might have. So first, we're going to be talking about which broker you should be using and how to find the right broker for you. Second, we're going to be talking about what you should be investing with, how much money you should be trading with. Third, we're going to be talking about the style of trading, what kind of style of trading you have out there that can be an option for you, and which one should be the best for you. Fourth, we're going to be talking about how to find the right stocks and how you find the stock that fits your strategies. And lastly, we're going to be talking about how to educate yourself and keep growing and keep working on your trading styles and keep growing your account from no money or little money, wherever you're starting off with, to the kind of goals, the set goals you have put for yourself. So before we get into the video, remember to subscribe down below. I put a lot of effort into making these videos for you guys, so I really appreciate it. So the first step you need to take when investing in the stock market is picking the right broker. If you're not familiar with what a broker is, it's just a platform that lets you buy and sell shares. They're the middleman between you and the stock exchange market. So there's so many brokers out there, all kinds of brokers. Some have fees, some don't have fees, some are meant for certain styles, some are meant for different styles. So when picking a broker, the first thing you need to do is what country you live in. There's some brokers that only serve in certain countries. For example, Thinkorswim, which is very popular, it's one I use, is only available in the US. So first thing you need to do is look through to all the options that you have in your country and just go from there, because if you live in a certain country, you might be very limited. Also, you're going to be thinking about what kind of trading are you trying to do. There's some brokers that are better, some things like day trading or swing trading, long-term investing, shorting, depending on your strategies. So that's another thing you want to look into. My two mostly brokers that I recommend for trading stocks are Thinkorswim, which is the one I use behind me right there, which is a very popular one. It's free of charge. It's a lot more complex than some other ones like Webull, which is also really good, but it has a lot more options and indicators, and it's more complex to get to know. But once you get to know it, I highly recommend it. Another option you can go with is another free one that you don't have to waste any money on fees when placing or selling a trade, is Webull. Webull is much easier to look at and maybe to get to know, but it doesn't have all the indicators that you can set up on Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade. That's why I highly recommend it. But if you're out of the country of the US, I also recommend Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers does charge small fees for placing a trade, but if you have no other options, most of the brokers I'm familiar with outside of the US do have some small fees. Interactive Brokers is one that I know a lot of people use. So when you're looking at brokers, you also got to keep in mind slippage. Slippage is a big deal if you're day trading. So if you're trying to day trade like I do, I will stay away from brokers that have high slippage, which will be something like Robinhood. Robinhood might be the most popular broker out there, and a lot of people get introduced from trading through Robinhood, but Robinhood is really not good for day trading. It's much better for options maybe, and swing trading for long-term investment. That's what it was meant for. But a broker for day trading, I highly recommend not using Robinhood, because I mentioned Robinhood because I see it so often and it's one of the most popular ones. But if you're just trying to get to just understand what the stock market is, make an account on Robinhood, just get to know it. Most of people starting off won't be day traders like this, might start off just with long-term investing, just want to place their money somewhere that it can grow, like ETFs, companies like Apple and Walmart, Amazon, like that, just so their money can increase and they don't want to worry about day trading. But if you're day trading, you're going to have to take the broker a lot more serious. I will leave a list down below of all the brokers and the pros and cons and what you should do and what you shouldn't do with certain type of brokers. Also with brokers, keep in mind that sometimes they go down, sometimes they're maintenance and so on. What I definitely recommend is having at least 2 brokers set up. Like me, I use Thinkorswim and I also use Webull. I have 2 brokers set up because sometimes Thinkorswim can go down or Webull can go down or it's lagging, whatever it is they might be doing. I highly recommend having 2 brokers because you should always have a backup plan. You shouldn't be stuck because you're a broker. Also, don't get married to each broker. There might be a broker that comes out next week and it's way better than anything I'm using, and I might transfer over to it. That's completely fine. So don't get married to your broker. Don't get obsessed with it. Try different ones. Most of them have free trials that you can use, and just get to know which one you like better. At the end of the day, a broker is just a tool. You're the one that's commanding it. So use whatever you're comfortable with and whatever you like using. So how much money should you be using to fund your account? I get that question asked so many times, and people always ask me, Antonio, how much money do I need? I only have 20 bucks, 50 bucks, 500, 2,000, 10,000, whatever you have to invest. And I always tell them the same answer. Just invest with what you have. If you only have $200 saved up that you can risk losing, because you got to keep that in mind. Whatever money you're putting in, you could be risk losing, especially if you're a new trader. You know what you're doing, you can make a mistake, you'll take a bad trade, and before you know it, the $200 you had goes down to zero. If you're only comfortable with $200 losing, just go with the $200. It's not that big deal. It might be hard to grind and slowly build an account because you're starting with such little money, but it's okay. It's most of trading in the beginning is going to be painful and hard. That's why trading is the easiest, hardest job that you can have, because it's easy, because I can be sitting here drinking coffee, talking to you guys, but at the same time, it's not easy to make the money because the indicators and learning and getting education and figuring out all the strategies is hard and it's time consuming. But it's with anything that comes in life, it's going to be hard and time consuming. So also when you're funding your account, you keep in mind the pesky PDT rule. If you're not familiar with the PDT rule, it says in the US, if you have less than $25,000 on a margin account, you can only make a day trade 3 times a week. A day trade is buying and selling stock within the same day. You can do that 3 times a week if you're under the PDT rule. But that only comes with a margin account. So you go margin account, which is trading money with money you don't have. So the broker is pretty much giving you a loan for letting you trade during the day with money you're still waiting for it to settle in your account. Or you can go cash account. In cash account, like it says, you're only trading with the money that you have. So once you use it for a trade, you have to wait for it to settle back in your account before you can trade with it again, which usually takes 1 to 2 business days, depending on what broker you use. So that's also something you gotta keep in mind. I recommend for people that are just starting out to go cash account. It might be very painful. Just go with the cash account just so that you're not gambling money that you don't have. Because if you spend too much money on the margin account, you might be underwater more than you expected it. So for rookies, people that are just starting out, just go cash, just as long as you learn it, and then maybe you can want the margin, or you can maybe want to go past the PDT rule. Alright, so now we're going to be talking about which style of trading fits you and which style of trade do you want to do. So there's 2 main different styles of trading, which I always talk about on this channel. Is day trading, which is somebody that you see on TV or that you have most common knowledge of what a trader is. It's just people that are watching charts all day like I do, and they're picking position daily and they're not holding overnight. They only usually hold for a few minutes, maybe a few hours, wherever they see on their charts. And the big good things about day trading is that you have a lot more control. You're actively watching whatever is happening in the market. You're keeping up to date. You're reading all the news, whatever is happening, and you're always there ready to sell or buy an entry if you see a good position. But with day trading also comes that it takes up a lot of time, and you can only trade during the market hours. So the market hours are usually when most people are actually at work or at school, so a lot of people can day trade and they have resort to another type of trading. The other type of trading is swing trading. With swing trading, people plan to hold the stock for longer than just a day. Usually it's weeks, maybe a month, whatever the case may be for whatever they're trading. With swing trading, a lot of people look for news, or they look for a stock that's cheap on a discount that came down on some bad news and they're trying to pick it up for the recovery. So whatever strategy is, it usually means that they're going to hold it for some period of time. With swing trading, I also like to talk about long-term investment, which is a lot of people that like to just put money in the market because they know that over time it will eventually go up. So there's a lot of people that like to do long-term investing where they see if a stock or a company or an ETF or the market is down because something happened. They like to capitalize on it, invest when it's cheap, so that maybe they can get a higher return on investment. So with the 2 main strategies that you have, it comes down to you. Do you have time, or do you go to school? Then day trading might not be an option at all for you. So you may want to look into swing trading. Well, or also if you hate your job or you just don't want to work anymore, or you want to look for something that you can do on the side in the morning when you're free, because maybe you work in the afternoon, you have school in the afternoon, you're somewhere in another part of the world that the stock market is in the afternoon for you, then day trading might be something to look into. It all comes down also to your personality. I know a lot of people that don't like to look at charts all day, don't like to be in front of a computer all day, so they hate that kind of trading. So another thing with day trading and swing trading, I will highly recommend just watching not just this video, but go educate yourself on other videos about these 2 different strategies, because in the end, it's going to come down to whatever strategy you use, you got to feel comfortable with and you got to like. So if you don't like it, you're not feeling comfortable with it, you're not going to execute well and you're not going to be profitable. So really educate yourself after you find your first broker. Find what strategy works for you. You can also try a mix of both. So now, how do you find the stocks? You have everything set up, you know your strategy you want to use, but how do I find the right stocks that I'm looking for? There's a few powerful tools out there that you can use that are free, such as Finviz. Finviz is a really awesome website that shows you whatever hottest stocks are out there. It gives you trendline options, you can search stocks, you can even see what the market is doing. And what also you can do is you can set up a watch list on your broker if it comes with automated watch list. I know Thinkorswim and E-Trade, they both come with automated watch lists you can set up, such as top 10 gainers for the day, losers for the day, and any other watch list you can customize with. So that's another options you have within your broker. It's really useful because it's within your broker, so you don't need to tab out. If you only have one screen, you can keep an eye on whatever stocks are doing. Also, another option I give people is find a watch list online. There's great people that post watch lists, for example, on our Instagram every week. If you don't follow the Instagram down below, check out the Instagram down below. We post a watch list every week. For example, last week we had the stock go up 100% on our watch list literally the next day. So I recommend finding people that you're trustworthy with and you're familiar with, that they might be able to post some cool watch lists. Other examples out there are, for example, Zip Trader. He posts his really cool watch list in his chats weekly and daily. But remember, a watch list is just a watch list. Just because there's a stock on a watch list doesn't mean you want to trade it. It's just a stock that you want to keep an eye on. You want to check it out, make sure it fits the criteria you're looking for when trading, and then maybe potential look for an entry for it. Another way you can find stocks are other websites like MarketWatch that has with all the hottest news of the market, and also Yahoo Finance. A lot of people like to trade news, so a lot of people like to keep an eye on these different websites. So try different websites until you find one that you like that posts watch lists that are good for you. But remember, always, watch lists are just a watch list. You don't trade in just because they're on a watch list. There's a million stocks on different watch lists, and maybe only 5% will be good enough to trade. Because just because it's on a watch list or somebody called it out, it doesn't mean it's a good stock to trade. So when you're first starting out, you're gonna want to try to trade anything that anybody says. You're gonna read a chat or a comment somewhere, you're gonna want to trade it. Please don't make that mistake. Do your own due diligence. Only trade stocks that you really know what you're doing and you have a plan around. Don't trade stocks just off of hype, because that's only gonna get you to lose money. You might get lucky once or twice listening to some random pump and dumps comment, but please don't trade stocks unless you have a plan around them and you really know what you're doing. Alright, so now we're gonna be talking about education. How do you become a good trader? I get that question all the time. How long did you trade for? How do you get a good trader? How to start day trading? It always comes down to 3 simple answers, and it's education, education, education. You gotta educate yourself. You gotta keep studying. Just because you're a trader and you have a few good trades, a few good days, doesn't mean the studying stops there. Watch videos every day on YouTube, on different websites. I read up on trading, techniques, strategies. Even if I might not use them, I just like to know, because I like to have a competitive edge on all other traders. Trading always comes down to education. You gotta keep educating yourself. Watching one video, like for example this video you're watching, you can't go trading just because you watch this one video how to trade. I would recommend watching hundreds of the same videos on the same topics, because it's like school that you go to school for 10 years to become a doctor or something like that. You might take a year of just studying before you take your first trade. It doesn't happen that way, but they'll highly recommend taking a few months to just study and just go on fake trading platforms. Like the TD Ameritrade has a really great on-demand trading platform where you can trade with fake money just to get to know your trading strategies and get familiar with trading and being able to trade without real money, so there's no repercussions, but you can still get your practice in. Just take it seriously. Find people that you've been trading for longer, you can ask them questions, whatever you like to do. Buy a program, join the chat down below. We have run a Discord chat if you want to check it out down below. We talk about trading and people always ask me questions, or you can follow my Instagram, ask me questions on there, or just ask other people questions. That's why I did for starting out. I looked for people that had been doing it for a while, got familiar with them, got to know them, and they helped me out along the way, teach me more about the stock market. So also your personal preference, I never bought a program. I think there's enough information on YouTube or different sites of people talking about the stock market that you can get to really be good trader off of just that information. That's a beautiful thing about the internet, and that you can get so much knowledge for so little money. So educate yourself and practice. Also set realistic goals for yourself. Don't think just because you start trading with the first month you're going to be a millionaire, you're going to buy that brand new Lamborghini like everybody on YouTube. No, set realistic goals, set basic goals. Don't feel down yourself if you're not achieving those goals, because trading is hard and you're just starting out. So set a goal of even just 1% for the month. It's still a gain, it's still green, so we're still happy. I recommend setting a goal like 1% per week to begin with. And maybe if you find that to be very comfortable with that, you can do to 1% a day and move on from there. So set realistic goals for yourself and don't feel down on yourself. So take these 5 easy steps and start your day trading journey. Guys, day trading is awesome and it's so much fun to do. So guys, thank you for watching the video. As always, remember to leave a like, comment and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.